Hey everybody, it's Beth with The Interior Life, and today I am moving to the exterior to show you how to do these no-dig rock flower bed edgings on a budget. So our flower beds were looking a little boring and I really wanted to do a rock edging for them, but I had to work on a budget and I definitely did not want to have to dig out the flower beds. I've actually done that in the past in a yard, and this time I wanted to keep it simple. So as you can see, I've already done a little bit of the edgings. I still have some filling in to do. And then today I'm going to work on this back section here on the back side of the flower bed and show you that there actually is a method to the madness of how you place down these rocks. You can't just kind of pile them all in there and expect them to have that sort of natural look. So here are the rocks I'm going to be working with. It is actually Colorado River rock. I purchased these from our local stone yard. They sell them for 10 cents a pound in my area, and you probably have a stone yard close to you. They're usually on the outskirts of town, and you can go and select your rocks and put them in a bucket, and they will bring them over in a forklift and weigh them for you and help load them up in your car. So to give you an idea, this is probably about $50 to $60 worth of rock here. So this is going to be enough to do that one side, and then also I've got another tree ring that I'll be working on as well. So the nice thing about a stone yard, it's usually less expensive, and they also have a whole lot more to choose from as well. You can see here that I have picked out a nice kind of mix of small, medium, and large rocks, and that's going to be really helpful to create a nice layered look for your garden. So first things first, I'm going to rip up all this old rubber edging and just take a shovel and just push back that mulch. I'm not digging anything, I'm just pushing it all back out of the way so I've got a little bit more room to work. I'm going to start by placing the largest stones first, and I'm just staggering them from front to back. So I've got leaving little spaces at the front and some space in between, so I've got room to fill in. Sometimes I'm standing the rocks vertically, sometimes I'm laying them horizontally, maybe putting one or two together and then spacing them out a little bit further. So you can see here the first layer of rocks where they're spaced out, and some are up, some are down, some are two together, some are four together, just to give it a little bit of variance there, so I've got room to put in those medium-sized rocks. Now I'm going to come back in and fill in with the medium-sized rocks. I'm going to fill in the entire line now so there won't be any gaps. Some I'm placing in front, some I'm placing in back of the larger stones, and it's, you know, kind of just a try it and see method. Sometimes they need to be moved to a different position, or I need a different size rock, but I'm just filling those in and making sure that they can stand up on their own, and getting a nice placement for all of those. So you can see now that there's no spaces along the line. All the medium rocks are filled in, and this actually looks pretty good. It just still could use a few more of the smaller rocks to really make it look like a nice layered rock edging. So now I'm going to come back through with the smaller rocks, and I'm really just looking for any area where there's a big difference between where there's a tall rock and a medium rock, and just placing those in there and filling in. Also, this really helps to keep the grass out if you've got all the little cracks and crevices covered up. So here is the finished edge now. I've got all three different size rocks in there, and you can see now it looks a little more natural, like you might find in nature, versus just a lot of rocks piled together, you know, all the same size next to each other. To me, it looks kind of Flintstone-y when it's that way, if you remember who the Flintstones are. So I really like the way that this turned out, and it's got some nice variation in the way the rocks are oriented and all the different sizes in there. And now I'm just going to go through to the front and the other sides and fill in. I'd run out of rocks on my last trip, so now I'm going to go back through and just fill in with some of the smaller rocks just to complete that side and around the other edges. So here is the finished flower bed. I've got new mulch in there. I've cleaned it up and put a couple more plants in there. And this is the finished look. Tell me what you think. It was really super simple and easy. Honestly, the hardest part is just hauling all the rocks home. And I love that I didn't have to dig. And this is actually a tree ring that I did as well. So you can see it works in a lot of different applications. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and let me know if you're going to give this a try in your own garden. And I hope you will like and subscribe, because in the next couple days I'm going to be doing our full backyard tour and all the different changes that I've made since last year. Thanks so much for watching.